You're listening to The David Knight Show.
Welcome back. You know, there's an interesting article that's up on the Drudge Report from the Wall Street Journal. The title is Deus Ex Machina, or actually, that's pronounced correctly. What it is a Latin phrase, God from the machine. Religions using robots to connect with the public. And, you know, I have, when at the very beginning of computers rising, I've talked about how, and it was also reflected in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you know, deep thought, this magnificent computer, right? This brain the size of a planet or whatever. And everybody lets this gigantic computer crank for eons, asking it what the meaning of life is. And it comes back with the number 42. So then they build a bigger computer to try to interpret that. And that was Douglas Adams' way of making fun of the tendency of people to essentially worship these machines that they create. You know, they really are like little idols that we create. Unlike the idols that ancient civilizations used to create, these things can actually kind of talk to us in a way. And that makes us think that they are intelligent when they regurgitate what we want them to say. And so you've got a guy that's actually embracing this. He has created this little robot that is just under 17 inches tall. He calls it Santo, as in sanctified or something, I guess. It resembles those small figurines of saints, often found in Catholic homes. Except it's got a computer, a microphone, sensors, and facial recognition-enabled camera. So, you know, it kind of, in a way, sees and speaks, unlike the dumb and blind pieces of stone and metal that people have created in the past. As he touches and speaks to it, its deep echoing voice responds with a quote from the Bible. Bow down and worship. But I have seen people literally do this to computer models of any sort. That's why I'm not so impressed with the computer models about climate change. It's like, okay, well, you know, show me the data and let's give this some time and let's see if this prediction actually comes true. Or if your little God from the machine is actually a false prophet. I want to see the data. I want to see the predictions come true to see if your model is any good. And I'm not overly impressed by printouts. You know, anybody in the computer business, going back to the old, it's like garbage in, garbage out. But I have also seen people who should know better, people who are engineers, scientists. Oh, look, I got a printout. Look, you know, never going back. Don't look at the model. Ignore the fact that I programmed this thing. No, I've got a computer printout here. So what? And now they're actually trying to formally introduce this as a religious device. I mean, I've seen people in a secular way worship the output of these things. This kind of ties in also to the articles we've seen from Zero Hedge. This is also on the Drudge Report a day or so ago. Sick of human politicians? Well, a quarter of Europeans prefer AI government. So they've asked these people, would you rather have artificial intelligence, computers to take the place of politicians, to take the place of judges and courts? Oh, yes, I would trust the objectivity and the wisdom of a machine more than I would the person. And yet the reality is, and we can certainly see it in the censorship of the internet, we can see how biased these bots, these programs, these algorithms can be. It's just another one of these aspects of falling down and worshiping this so-called intelligent machine. And it's always been the case. It's just amazing to me. There's something about us that we want to worship these idols, and you know, because there is some quasi appearance of intelligence in these machines, we want to bow down and worship them. And so, I think this is along the same lines. We have the U.S. Census now is going to enlist the help of the big companies that have been censoring everybody to conduct the census. So the U.S. Census Bureau, reports Reuters, has asked the tech giants Google, Facebook, and Twitter to help it fend off fake news campaigns. Oh, yeah, they're just the people to turn to, aren't they? Especially when it is something as important as the census. And I think this is the key thing here. People don't understand how important the census is for allocating political power and representation. And if you allow these fake corporate giants who have been the velvet glove of DARPA, the NSA, the CIA, the FBI, these deep state people, they have used them to be censors, they have used them to manipulate public opinion, and now they're going to use them to manipulate the census. And we should just bow down because they are so smart, and their programs and their algorithms and their bots are so smart, we should just let them do it. They said the sources that they talked to, Reuters had talked to, had said that, and of course they asked not to be named. These are always anonymous sources, but this is Reuters and the establishment press out there working with their allies at Google, which is not a search engine. It is not a search engine. Facebook and Twitter are not social media. They are anti-social media, but they're going to work with them to shut down fake news. They said the sources who asked not to be named said evidence includes increased chatter on platforms like 4chan by domestic and foreign networks keen to undermine the survey. So there you go. 4chan. 4chan is going to undermine the survey. Yeah, that's it. They're probably, So-called fake news strategies can take myriad forms, and we got to worry about this because these people are the cyber experts in terms of shutting down any fake news and any hate. And we can turn to them because these are the same people, Google, who have effectively erased Alex Jones from the internet. They've erased the co-founder of Greenpeace after he criticized their climate change propaganda. We've had Mark Morano point out many times, he had a very good, this is Patrick Moore, the pictures of him as one of the founders of the environmentalist movement are gone, right? Because in the same way, and I tweeted out this morning what I had said on the program yesterday about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying, oh, yeah, well, I'm not going to back down on this. We care about children who are drinking lead in the water, and we care about climate change. It's like, no, those are two different things. This guy who founded Greenpeace was concerned about pollution. And AOC, when her climate change story, her narrative collapses, and she's running for cover after her own party turns against her on this Green New Deal nonsense, she turns to pollution. And I said, oh, nice pivot to move away from your failed climate change narrative to pollution, which people do care about. And then ignoring the fact that the pollution that happened in Flint, Michigan that she talks about actually happened under the watchful eye and protective hand of government, and not just that, but Democrat government there in Flint, Michigan, who did nothing. Federal government under Obama that did nothing to protect those people. Yeah, you want to protect yourself? Get your own water filter, because the government is not going to protect you. They put stuff in the water, and if you talk about that, you get shut down, like Natural News, right? Mike Adams talks about fluoride in the water. They shut him down. They don't want you to hear that, let alone do anything about it. So these are the people who are censoring individuals who are now going to count the foreign citizens amongst our midst and honestly report that to us so that we can determine how many votes California gets and New York gets. You really trust those people? The people who make people disappear? And then they're going to count these non-citizens in the census? The censors counting the census. Yeah, they are. Just take a look at what Twitter did. There's a Tesla critic who posted Tesla-related deaths. This is factual. Twitter suspended him after people complained about it. They eventually restated him, but they restated him and took away the thousands of followers that he had. That's how honest they are. And you've got now HUD under Ben Carson saying that Facebook is guilty of housing discrimination. Well, why not? They have discriminated in every other way. I agree with that. But let's talk about how they discriminate against the First Amendment. Come on, let's get serious about this. We'll be right back.
The scientists at InfoWars Life have created a powerful formula for inflammatory support and joint support. Discover the power of ancient medicine with Bodies. Bodies contains one of the most potent forms of turmeric available. Turmeric has been used for thousands of years and is one of the most studied herbals today. It is well known in traditional medicine for its soothing properties. Our pure turmeric extract plus piperine from black pepper makes for optimal absorption to help boost and support your flexibility, mobility, joint function, immune system, and so much more. Regular turmeric root from the store only contains 1 to 5% of active ingredients, but our turmeric root extract contains over 95% of the active ingredients. Bodies combines turmeric with organic herbs such as spearmint, sage, lemon balm, and thyme to work synergistically for full body support. Try Bodies today at InfoWarsLife.com or call us at 188-253-3139.